Okay, so what's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame? In this video, Chris and I are gonna share our secret tips on how you can identify those soul family relationships and what it means to find your twin flame.
Oh my gosh, you know, being in a relationship is one of the most challenging and also the most rewarding experiences of our entire lives. If you've watched a movie ever, what you normally find in it is a relationship. There's some sort of dynamic that ends up coming out and it makes you cry, it makes you weep, it makes you happy, it makes you sad. Relationships are the things that really make or break our entire lives. And being able to figure out, is a partner right for you? Are they a soulmate or are they a twin flame? Is going to really catapult you into personal, spiritual, and relationship development.
So let's talk about soulmates really quick. So soulmates are basically, if you can imagine that before we incarnate on this planet, that there's a blanket, if you will, this cloth that we're all cut from, right? So a soulmate and a soul family is basically cut from the same cloth of stars, if you will. So you travel along the same lines as these souls in different incarnations, usually swapping roles. So sometimes you might end up with your mom as your sister, or your sister as your boyfriend, or, you know, it's really interesting how the souls end up shifting and changing roles. And the way that we found this is through the hypnosis past life regression work that Chris does. Otherwise, we'd be like, this is bullshit. I don't really know what you're talking about. But because of the work that we've done with hypnosis and exploring past lives, we found that these relationship roles swap. So if you've ever come across a person where they feel familiar, you've never met them in this physical reality, and you're like, man, I just feel like I really know you, or you click and there's like some bond where you're like, automatic family, and you're like, I don't know, there's just something about it. That's usually you finding that sense of finding your soul family.
Yeah, so it's not always a partner. It's not always someone that you have a love relationship with. Soulmates can be friends, can be brothers. There's definitely a specific kind of a connection, and you know it. You don't have to think about it. It's not one that's like, here's the signs of a soulmate. You know, when you meet them, you feel it inside. You've got that.
It's a remembering.
It clicks. It clicks so much. It's just like you skip the first 6 months of an average relationship. You're just like, it's not the same kind of small talk. It's not the same kind of anything, and you find out normally within the first couple of meetings. Sometimes it's the first one because you're in their presence and suddenly like things feel right. For me, that's how I always know things feel right.
Yeah.
The difference in soulmates is they don't always last. And the reason why is because when everything is a high, when everything is just kind of at this like, oh man, things are going good, going good, going good, going good, there's no reason for development or change. And life is about development and change. It's about realizing new things. It's about discovering your potential. It's about finding out who you are on the inside. It's about bringing a lot of good to the world, figuring out what your passion, what is your purpose, who are you going to serve. It's about figuring out these questions. And a lot of times soulmates won't give you that. They will give you a lot of times a fantastic time. And that's okay. It's okay for that relationship to just give you that.
Yeah, soulmates are for a season, and they're there to show up as that reflective mirror to remind you of things that you've forgotten about yourself. So you can appreciate the soulmates when they come in and leave your life, because they're not always meant to be forever. And the same is true with twin flames. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I want to meet my twin flame. I'm so excited. But the truth is, when you meet your twin flame, a lot of the time, especially working with couples and coaching them, we find that when people meet their twin flame, it usually doesn't work out in a romantic, lasting, intimate relationship. The only way a twin flame relationship is going to work and last is if it's your final incarnation together. And what the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate is a twin flame. So we talked about soulmates being cut from the same cloth, basically a large cloth of like spirit family, if you will. Now, a twin flame is actually taking that same soul and splitting it in half, so that you basically have two parts to this one whole. And that's what a twin flame is. Whereas the soul family, there's like 1 out of 100. The twin flame comes straight from your DNA, if you will.
Yeah, what you'll notice about twin flames is that you're going to challenge each other a lot, and the reason why is because you don't see things the same way.
And you are a direct mirror and replica for each other to look and see, here's the problems, here's the issues. I can tell you that Chris and I are absolutely twin flames, and thank God this is our last lifetime. We both have the same life path number. We both chose not to have children. We both are the last of our lineage. There's no siblings, there's no nothing. And so we know that we've incarnated together to, one, Life Path 11. We're here to teach radical enlightenment. But we were challenged extremely hard in the beginning. So hard that we almost didn't last. And that it was really tough and difficult for us to overcome. And a lot of the times when you meet your twin flame, you're not quite ready for each other. And so the challenge that they pose to you, even though there's like this deep, like, I know you're the one, I love you so much, I can't, like, this has to work. Usually you're on different like chapters of your life lessons, and so you'll mirror parts of yourself and each other that really drive you crazy or really trigger you, so you're not able to move forward and heal past those traumas or those pains.
Golly, thinking back, I mean, I want to say the first maybe year and maybe year and a half, maybe 2 years of our relationship was awful. It
was brutal.
It's not like it was okay, it was terrible. And
it was really good sex and really good fighting.
So much fighting. I mean, and to live that way, to live in that like tension all the time, it sucked. Brutal. But there was something from day one when I met Britt that I knew I needed to be a part of. And it wasn't just like what she was going to become. It wasn't anything like that. It was what we were going to do for each other. And I knew that being around Britt and Britt being around, I knew that we would grow. I knew that she was going to be able to push my buttons in a way that I wouldn't let anybody else push them. That wouldn't happen. It would be over. And she was able to do that, but able to do it in a loving way, which is a little different. It doesn't make you feel, as the other person doesn't make you feel that much different in the beginning.
Attacked.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're defensive as people. Relationships make us very vulnerable. They make us show other people and expose those corners of ourselves that we feel are dark, you know, our flaws, the things about our body that we don't like, the things about our personality or our past or some of the mistakes that we've made. You have to bring those out in a relationship. They're going to come out eventually anyway. So you have to bring those out and put them up in front and say, hey, this was me. This is what I did. I've done some things that I'm not necessarily proud of. And so we're going to be vulnerable, and being able to have someone on the other end of that you know is going to challenge you, but then you know that the exact same time is going to love you through it and love the person that you are, even with all of those things, is worth it. It's hard, very hard, but it's worth it.
Chris always says true love is investing in another's spiritual growth, and I'm so thankful you didn't give up on me in that first couple years because I had a lot to heal. And I could feel, looking back, I can now feel like your level of maturity and wisdom was like, oh, come on, kid, like, are you gonna get it together in this life, or like, what are we doing here? So thank you for not giving up on me. And I wanna know, have you come across your twin flame in your life, and was it extremely challenging? Did you find that they mirrored parts of you that were painful and it was hard to overcome or heal? You know, and this video isn't to be like, oh, well, we found each other, you suck, too bad, good luck. That's not the case at all. There are a lot of twin flames that end up finding each other again when it's time to end your carnations, and, you know, like, you've learned the lesson of love, then you can move on. And you can move on together. So I want to know, have you met your twin flame? Has it been challenging? And what are your thoughts on the whole soul family, you know, twin flame situation?
Yeah, and another thing to bring up is, because people are going to ask, I can already hear it in the comments, how do I meet my soulmate?
Yeah.
How do I meet my twin flames? Which should probably
be careful what you wish for.
Should be a whole nother video.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
But here, I'll tell you how we found each other. Neither of us were looking. Both of us were ready.
Yes.
That is the answer.
We both gave up. We both gave up looking, gave up searching.
I'm not going to be in a relationship right now. I'm just going to focus on myself. The other part, if you really want to take that relationship, what made our relationship better? It was not something that we did for each other. What made our relationship better and what made our relationship succeed and allow us to get through that part that was so hard was that we started to love ourselves. That's the difference. It wasn't something Britt gave me. It wasn't something I gave Britt. It wasn't one person did something special. It was we started to really fall in love with ourselves. And then we took the love that we were giving ourselves at that point, and then we started to give it to the other person, not looking for it in return. If I'm already loving myself, it's nice that you give me love, but that doesn't really matter. It's great, but I don't need it.
You know, it's kind of like a yin yang. It's not about two halves make a whole. It is a whole and a whole come together and integrate to create this beautiful, blissful union that is inseparable and indescribable when you show up fully healed, fully whole. And I'm not saying that we were healed and whole when we first met, but that was the mission that we were both on. We were both ready to let go of all the pain, the drama, and to just find that sense of peace and love. And when we dedicated that finding and that discovery for ourselves, it ended up bringing us so much closer together.
And there's another really big important part in this, and we said it earlier, but it's so important. I want to say it one more time, and that is that people come into your life for seasons. And so that means if you're in a relationship and it's not exactly what you're looking for, that can be okay. Maybe you're not the right person for their growth at this time. Maybe they're not the right person for your growth, you know? And so you have to realize that the people are going to always bring challenges in, and they're always going to be challenges that we need to develop. We're going to need them to come in, and sometimes they're going to say mean things. Sometimes they're going to do mean things. Sometimes they're going to do things that hurt us. And all of those are to challenge us to become stronger, to bring up our belief in ourselves, and to have that confidence that we really need to discover what love really is, and to make sure that we're always giving it to ourselves first before we disperse it out to anybody else.
So instead of asking, how do I meet my twin flame? Maybe you put out to the universe, please attract to me the person that will help me to grow and is of my highest good at this time.
Woo, that's so different. So different.
I know. And you know what? You'll be surprised at what shows up, but it's not always the twin flame that completes your lifetime in this process. So maybe just ask for those that will support your highest good and the growth for all involved. Because if you ask for your twin flame and you get it, and you're not ready, or they're not ready, and
might be rough.
It's
gonna be rough.
Good luck. I threw a knife at his face.
It's true. She almost tried to run me over.
You know.
Threw all my stuff in the hallway. It's okay though. It's okay. We make a lot of mistakes, and I think that the idea that we know what love is and we know how to give love at a young age is crazy. I mean, it's difficult. It's something that we discover because, you know, we're not necessarily dialed into what we're feeling on in the inside of ourselves, and we don't. It's hard for us to clean up that mess sometimes. It's easier to look at other people's problems, it's easier to judge other people, or to sit behind a computer and do that. But when you start to look into yourself and say, ooh, I got some house cleaning to do, I'm gonna clean up this house. And that's where we were in our lives. We're like, we have to do house cleaning. It's not, I can't keep looking at other people to fill voids in myself. I have to start cleaning this up on my own. And then when I do that, a lot of things will begin to happen.
So clear up your drama and you'll attract the people that are vibrating at that next level that you want to meet, rather than, you know, staying where you're stuck and attracting those people on that level. So if you're looking for more love and to up-level your life, give it to yourself, do it for yourself, and you'll end up attracting that perfect partner. I literally quit my job at Claire's and said, I'm going to beauty school. I'm gonna follow my passions and pursue my dream and what I'm meant to do. And 3 months later, after making that decision, Chris showed up in my life with a really good business idea on how I got OMG Hair started. So it's incredible what happens when you commit to following your path, loving yourself, and no longer looking for it in another person. When you can do that, you'll attract the people that are really there to give you unconditional love.
Oh.
I hope you love this video. This is so fun sharing about twin flames and soulmates. If you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments below, and we will catch you guys later.
Peace.